Kon, obviously, the big shot there in the left corner to tie the game with about 10 seconds left. Can you walk us through a little bit of just what you were seeing? We heard from Charles, but just what you saw and kind of just the feeling of hitting a shot like that to get you guys to overtime and ultimately win.
Yeah, obviously we drew up the play, and I was kind of the first option in the set. I was just the first guy to pop open, and so Sion kind of looked away from me for a second, but then he saw that I was open and threw it. And me and Grant talked about before, I think the possession before we called the timeout and drew up the play, that this is a good time to maybe get a shot fake, maybe get the guy in the air, lean in. So that's why you see I kind of shot fake a little bit there, and then he doesn't jump, and then I just shot it. But yeah, obviously a big shot, and glad it went in.
You guys, you were 0 for 5 or 0 and 5 in clutch time, and now back-to-back wins in clutch time, pulling out these close games. Or you guys feel like those reps and kind of going through some of those shortcomings have helped you maybe get over the hump a little bit to kind of get to the point where you're starting to pull out these close games?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely nice, having those first couple games that are, we didn't execute the way we wanted to at the end of the game, and now these past 2 games, not really turning it over there in clutch time and crunch time and getting shots up on the board and then getting stops and rebounds. It's been fun.
Started the season shooting really well. The past 2 games, you were, I think, 2 of 16. Tonight, you're 4 of 7. From a shooter's mindset, kind of what do you kind of think of not getting too high or too low in these scenarios?
Yeah, I mean, the 2 games before that, I was 13 of 20, and then 2 of 16. Just that's sometimes how it goes. It's always going to regress to the mean, or go back to around 40. I hope it's a little bit higher than that this season, but you just keep getting the right shots. The past 2 games I was getting the right shots, they just weren't going in. So I'm going to keep shooting them.
Yeah, what does it mean for you to be able to, again, it's not a slump for you, it's only a couple of games, but to be able to come out here, contribute the way you did, and get a win and shoot the ball well, how does it feel for you to be able to do that?
Great. Yeah. I think on a night we didn't shoot great as a team, we'd like to make some shots. The last couple of games we haven't really shot very well from 3, but it's good to get back in the rhythm, I guess, personally, and hopefully we can have a team game where everybody shoots well.
After a couple of games recently, you guys have lamented the lack of physicality at the beginning of games when you have gone down early. Tonight, you guys closed with incredible physicality. What led to that change in your mindset, and what do you think playing with that physicality towards the end of the game did for you guys in that closing kick?
Yeah, I mean, for most of the game, we got murdered on the rebounds. It was really just getting some of those rebounds at the end of the game, holding them to 1 shot, and that was the difference. Obviously 52 to 39. It was 24 to 10. I felt like at one point, and I was like, "Geez, that's not good." But we finished strong and physical.
Kon, what does it do for you guys to be able to win games like this when Charles is trying to juggle the minutes for LaMelo and Brandon, and you guys are able to pull this off?
Yeah, that's hard, and that's hard for those guys. It's hard to get a rhythm for those guys personally. B-Mill coming in and out of the game, that's tough to do. It's kind of tough as a team too when guys we're shuffling the lineup like that. But just collective effort. Colin Sexton was awesome tonight again. Just bringing his energy and his effort. Same with Musa. I thought those guys were big for us.
You feel compelled? This is a little off topic. The college football world went a little crazy today. Do you have a relative that refereed the biggest game in college football today?
Yeah, my Uncle Cole ref the game. He's been reffing in the Big Ten for a while. He's a white hat. And he texts me every week, picture of where he's at. And then today, he sent me a picture of an Ohio State mug and a Michigan mug right next to each other. I was like, oh, sweet, he's got the game. And then I got about 20 texts.
Miles, in his on-court post-game interview, said, Kon Knueppel saved my life with that 3 in the corner. Can you talk about his game and his performance tonight? I think he had 35.
Yeah, he was awesome tonight. I think his pace, especially in overtime, was very good. I think he overreacts a little bit when he's saying that. He said 35. But yeah, he was disappointed to miss that free throw. He's a really good free throw shooter, so he always gets pissed off when he misses those.
few weeks ago, you kind of lamented the idea of you guys not being whole. People playing roles they weren't intended to play. The last 2 games, the starting lineup has been together, and you guys have pulled out a couple of close wins. What does it say about the potential of this group now that you guys are getting closer to whole, about what you guys can do going forward?
Yeah, I mean, I think we can compete on any night with any team. I think we did that for the most part in some of our other games, even without our guys. That just speaks to the competitiveness of the group. But, it's good to have everybody back, and we look forward to having JG and Grant back as well.